When Redfall was very first announced, I was really happy to see that sort of a game. And then it was set for a summer 2022 release. It got delayed by almost a year, and it's an absolute joke, as stated in the title, because there are so many things wrong with this game from the core, and we're going to jump into it. I've got 4 major topics, and we're going to start off with the fact that this game is releasing on the quote-unquote most powerful gaming console of all time, running at 30 frames per second. There is no performance mode in this game. We ain't getting those 60 FPS until a later date. That could be in 2 months' time. That could be in 6 months' time. You could have to wait an entire year to get the 60 frames per second version of the game. And it states in the Xbox store that the game is optimized for the Xbox Series X and S. What a load of shit. They have locked this game to 30 FPS, and I've watched multiple videos on this topic, and I think the only reason it's been locked to that is because they are on a deadline to get this game released. This is a Bethesda or an Arcane developed game. Bethesda is part of Xbox as a first-party title, and yeah, we're getting the worst version of any sort of game out there. When you are looking at games in 2023, you are expecting 60 FPS. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are okay, they accept 30 frames per second because they can play in 4K, but these consoles, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, they state that they are the most powerful gaming consoles of all time. They've got the best hardware inside it. They even said during one of the shows talking about it before it released that it's going to be a dev kit that makes it easier for developers to create games on, and this is the stuff we are getting in 2023. We had the same issue with a game being locked to 30 FPS being Gotham Knights. We've had a lot of games, including first-party games, being an absolute mess. If you look at Halo Infinite, it didn't launch with Forge or with a co-op campaign. If you have a look at Forza Motorsport 8, it was showcased, but it's still not even available now. And if you take a look at Forza Horizon 5, don't get me wrong, it's a great game. I absolutely love playing it. But both their DLCs have basically been spins on what they've already released in the past. Games in 2023, regardless of the people wanting to play in 4K 30 FPS, regardless of the game being launched on Game Pass and only having to pay a subscription instead of buying the game outright, games in 2023 should be default on these consoles to play at 60 FPS at launch. There is no excuse for the game not releasing with a performance mode. It's an absolute disaster that that is the case. But then we jump into the second point, and that is if you are playing solo, it doesn't fucking matter, because this is an always online game. There is no point of this game you can play where you are not connected to the internet. And I thought that was a thing of the past. One of the last big games I remember that happening with was Outriders, if I remember correctly. There's probably been a lot of titles that have done it since, but there was a lot of people kicking off about Outriders. I think it happened with Ghost Recon Breakpoint as well. And yeah, they're still doing that stuff now. With new releases, they are still forcing you, when you are playing solo, to still be connected to the internet. And then we have point number 3, switching it up. If instead of playing solo, if you're playing with your friends, your friend hosts the game, they go offline, they say, that's right, you can carry on, I'll catch up tomorrow, I've got to get an early night, got to be up in the morning, got doctors or some random shit. Your friend says to you, you can carry on and they'll catch up with progression. Forget it, not happening. There is no co-op story progression in this game whatsoever. There's seamless co-op, you jump in and out and play with your friends whenever, but whoever is the host gets the progress and the other players don't. I believe it's the same with SnowRunner, and it was also the same with Far Cry 5, except Far Cry 5, they locked weapons and stuff behind story progression. So I think it was me and Pete did an entire playthrough of Far Cry 5, and it was on, I was the host, it was my session, and Pete couldn't get certain stuff in the game, and when he's gone back to his world thinking, I don't know, I'll log in and it'll all be unlocked. Yeah, there was no progression whatsoever, and it's going to be the same with Redfall. If you are not the host of the match you are playing in, you get no story progression whatsoever. You might get your weapons, you might get your XP and stuff, but your actual game progression doesn't matter. You're not getting any of it. And then we have the fourth and final thing, and this is coming from the Xbox store itself. I've looked at the different editions of the game. I'm cutting out Game Pass with this part of the topic. I will be playing this one through Game Pass, but if you do not own Game Pass and you're wanting to purchase this game, this is a £70 title with a bigger bite-back edition of the game that's £100. And all the stuff we spoke about previously in the video still stands. You're paying £100 for 30 FPS. You're paying £100 for an always online game. You're paying £100 for a game that doesn't let you have story progression if you're not the host of the co-op match. But with this £100 edition of the game, you get the base game, you get the Vampire Hunter pack, which is available for anyone that pre-orders, or if you're playing on Game Pass, you get that pack. So what is the content you get with the Bite Back edition? You get a multi-weapon skin, you get a weapon attachment, you get an outfit, you get an outfit, you get an outfit, you get an outfit. So yeah, there's 4 outfits, a multi-weapon skin, a weapon attachment, and then there are also 2 future heroes through the Hero Pass. So, yeah, you're getting... It says here, the Redfall Hero Pass gives you access to 2 future heroes with unique powers and gameplay. So it's not expansions, DLC, or anything like that. It's fucking heroes. You are paying £30 for a bunch of outfits, a weapon skin, and an attachment, along with 2 heroes. That's the price of a full-on season pass, which would contain a year's worth of new content in the form of new areas like story DLC, expansions, and all that sort of stuff. You're paying the same amount of money for a couple of characters that have unique powers and gameplay, which if it's anything like Avengers, yeah, it's not going to actually see unique powers and gameplay. But as well as all of that, like, that's my major 4 problems with this. That's why I'm saying Redfall's an absolute joke. Alongside that, I've seen people that have had their hands on with previews of the game and stuff. And yeah, even on the PC, this game struggles to keep up with 60 frames per second. It says in the Xbox store that it's optimized for the Xbox Series X, and this game seems to have a huge lack of optimization across all platforms, so Xbox and PC. This game releases in about 3 weeks. They've had plenty of time to develop it. They had pretty much a year delay on the game, and this is what they have come up with. If there was something that basically was stronger than calling it an absolute joke, I would title it that, because this is ridiculous. If you don't own Game Pass, it's going to cost you. It's a AAA title, and it's locked to 30 FPS at launch. There's no co-op progression. It's an always online game. Bite Back Edition is going to cost you an extra £30. Comes with 4 outfits, a skin, an attachment for your weapons, and 2 future characters for an extra £30. And this is an Xbox first-party title. This is being made by Bethesda, Arcane, or whatever. And this is the shit we've got to put up with. Redfall is an absolute joke, in my opinion. That's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about what we've spoken about in this video. And check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.